day. Welcome to Smoke Showing with Jay. Today we are going to be making easy peasy pastrami on the smoker. So to make this, we need a couple ingredients, and we need to make a rub, and we need to cheat, and we're going to use a corned beef brisket. All right, I just bought these at Aldi's. They're on sale for $2.99 a pound right now. They'll probably be on sale on Monday for even cheaper. But right now that's what we're going to use. So to do this, this is a 2-day process, first of all. So we're going to take our corned beef here, and we are going to open it up, and we're going to put it in our big container, and we're going to soak it in water, and we need to flush it 3 times. All right, so what that means is I'm going to open this up, drain all this stuff off. We're going to put it in water. We're going to let it sit. It's approximately noon, give or take. Oh, actually, it's like 1 o'clock, and I'm going to be smoking this tomorrow afternoon, and it's going to smoke for anywhere between 2 and 4 hours. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow, or in the next portion of the video when we actually smoke it. But we're going to have to soak this, rinse it, put it back in water, dump the water out, put fresh water in, and soak it again. So what I'm going to do today is it's going to sit here until I go to bed. I'm going to dump the water, and then I'm going to refill it with water, and it's going to be sitting in the fridge the whole time. And then when I get up in the morning, I'm going to dump all this water again, and then I'm going to let it soak in fresh water for another 4 or 5 hours. Then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to dry it off, and I'm going to use a pastrami rub. This is obviously not a pastrami rub. This is homemade. This is my old black pepper. I keep all my containers, most of them. My wife hates it because I have so many. I keep a lot of my containers, and she's laughing because she's holding the camera. I keep a lot of my containers, and I make different rubs out of them. So for my pastrami rub, I'm going to use a 1/2 cup of black pepper. I use restaurant grind. You can't really see it in here, but it's a bigger grind. I'm using a 1/4 cup of sugar. Don't really need to worry about the calories because most of this is going to get washed away anyways. All right. 2 tablespoons of garlic, 2 tablespoons of coriander, and 1 tablespoon of onion powder. And this will all be in the bottom in the recipe. So that's what we're going to use. So 1/2 cup of pepper, black pepper, 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of garlic, 2 tablespoons of coriander, and 1 tablespoon of onion powder. Also, I write on here what everything is. That way I know exactly what was here. As you can see below, maybe not. I have other writing down there because I reuse these over and over again. This used to be my 1-to-1 mixture of salt and pepper that I use for brisket, but I needed a new container. So when I made pastrami before, I make pastrami quite regularly because it's amazing. So, and it's so simple. There's lots of other ways of doing it, and they're a lot more difficult, but I'm all about keeping it simple and just keeping it simple. All right, so the point of soaking this in the water is, if you guys don't know, when they make corned beef brisket, they inject this full of all kinds of stuff. So we are trying to pull out a lot of those seasonings that they have in here. The biggest thing we're really trying to pull out is all the salt, because these things are full of salt. This thing has 1,000 milligrams of sodium in it, 44% per serving in here. So they're full of salt. So that's what we're trying to do, trying to get a lot of that salt out, because pastrami is not very salty. So we're trying to get all of that out. And it also has sodium phosphate, a whole bunch of other really nasty stuff and stuff that I don't want. So I do eat this because it is very good. I won't lie, but it does have a lot of stuff we don't want. All right, so like I said, this is the easy peasy method. There's other ways you can do this, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to make it hard. I want to keep it nice and simple. So all we're going to do is we're going to take it out. Look at all that good juice. But unfortunately, that juice is all going in the garbage. My wife's giving me the evil eye. So that's going to go in there. And our little spice packet, you can keep it or throw it away. I'm just going to throw it away because I have no use for it. Oops. So I'm going to put this down the sink. Be right back. Don't look. I know, all that goodness down the drain. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill this full of water, I'll be right over here. So it's filling for water in my sink. All right. So it is now full of water. I do it so it's just over top. Just point that in there so you can see. All right. The water is about an inch or so above it. When this comes out of here for the first one, it's going to start to look nasty. It turns white and it just looks gross. All right, but don't worry about it. That's part of the process. Yeah, it looks nasty. So we're going to put this in the fridge for about 7-8 hours, and then I will see you then. Peace, love, and hair grease. Ta-da! It's nighttime. Isn't this cool? So we're going into the fridge. I'm going to take it out. Right here, I'm going to take it over and dump it out. You can see what nasty colors it's starting to turn into here in a minute. Guess I should have moved that out of the sink first, but I didn't. Oh well. So we're going to dump all this out. All right. As you can see, it's turning really white and really ugly looking. So that's what it's supposed to do. It's all part of the process of drawing out everything, and it's just getting waterlogged. So we're going to fill it with water. I'm going to wash my hands real quick, and then we're going to fill it back with water. And then it's going to go in back into the fridge overnight. In the morning, I'm going to dump it. I'm going to dry it off, and then I'm going to season it, and it's going to sit for a while with the seasoning on it, and then we're going to smoke it. So next step, I'm going to put this back in the fridge, and I'll see you all in the morning. Peace, love, and hair grease. So good morning, everybody. Through the magic of camera, it is now the morning. So we did a rinse last night, as you guys know, before I went to bed. Now it's been sitting here soaking overnight, so there's lots of juice in here. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to dump it out, and then we're going to go to the next stage. All right. That's all dumped out. As you can see here, it looks really nasty. It is all white and ugh, it just looks gross. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dry it off best we can. I have my pot pan here that I use, and I have just a drying rack. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna season this and let it season for probably 4 hours before we smoke it. And we're also gonna dry it off. Just in case you didn't know, when you smoke something, moisture inhibits the meat from taking the smoke. So you always want to get all of your products as dry as possible before you smoke them. All right. Some things will take smoke differently if they are a little bit wet. But on shorter smokes like this is probably only going to smoke, this is only a couple pounds. I think it's like 3 pounds. So this is probably only going to smoke for, I'm going to give it 5 hours is my plan. But in reality, I'm probably only going to smoke it for 3, and then I'm going to let it rest for a good hour. So that is the joys of smoking, is you never know how long things are going to take. You can, some things like a brisket, I pretty much know how long they're going to take. Pork butts, I don't do pork butts very often just because they take so long. They take like 12, 14, 16 hours to smoke, and I don't have the patience for that. So I don't do pork butts very often. I guess if I had I'm sorry, brain fart this morning. If I had a pellet grill, I might do pork butts more often because I do like them, but I just don't have the patience to smoke for 18 hours. Some of them take 20 hours. They take a long time, and I don't have the patience for that. So I do them once in a while when I can get a small pork butt. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off camera there. But when I do have time and I can get a small pork butt, I will smoke them. But like I said, I'm not a huge fan of them. I like them, but they just take so long. So we have it fairly dry, and it's also going to go in the fridge when I'm done with this here, after I season it, and that will also help dry it out. We put a lot of things in the fridge to dry it out because the fridge is very, very dry. It's always cooling and pulling all that water off and that moisture off. So pretty much all my meat go in the fridge before I smoke it. The only things I really don't put in the fridge before I smoke them are steaks. Not that I do steaks on the smoker very often. Occasionally I'll do a reverse sear steak. But I'm just a traditional guy. I like my steak just thrown on the grill. So, but they do taste good smoked. So here's our mixture that we made yesterday. The ingredients for this will be in the bottom. So what we're going to do, we're going to coat this just like we would coat a brisket. Well, because it is a brisket. We want to get a nice coating all over it. I'm actually going to give this a good shake. I haven't used this in about 5 months probably. It's been the last time since I made pastrami. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a nice coating, and I'll show you this coating in a minute. And like I said before, I don't use binders. I'm not a big fan of binders. I don't want that weird flavor, like especially of like mustard. I don't know why you'd want to put that into your meat when you don't really need a binder. But if you want to use a binder, knock yourself out. You know, some people swear by binders. I don't like them, so I just don't use them. It's all good. You know, that is a great thing about smoking. However you want it, you're doing it. Make it your way, you know. All right. And when I do smoke this, I'm going to smoke it fat side up. I'm a big fan of smoking fat side up. Some people swear it dries it out. I think it makes it more moist. Once again, try out, see what your smoker does. I have an upright smoker, so all my heat is at the very top and it's cooler as you go down. So that's how I like to do it, because I like all that fat to go through and marinate and get into the meat. Just makes it so much better. So I'm just going to reach the camera here so you guys can see this. So as you can see, I have a nice coating over this. I have it all over. You can also see, I don't know if you can see on the bottom, that's how much seasoning you lose. That's why people use binders, because it allows the meat to stick. I personally, like I said, I don't like the flavor of binders. Oops, sorry about that. Cut my head off. So there we are. So I will see you guys in about 4 hours, just before we smoke. All right, peace, love, and hair grease. All right, so this has been sitting in the fridge for the last 4 hours. 4 hours-ish. I'm gonna let it sit out for an hour, and then we're gonna start smoking. So I always like to bring my beef up to room temperature. Just gives it a much more even smoke and even cook, especially on this is like the flat of a brisket, because this end is this thick and this end over here is this thick. So if you have it up as close to room temperature as possible, you'll get a much better even cook, and it'll take smoke also a little bit better. But as you can see, it's nice and dry now that it's been sitting in the fridge. So all right, I'll see you guys out at the smoker. All right, so we are ready to smoke. We're going to be using Pecan and cherry wood. I usually a mixture of these two. I try and keep it split right at 50-50, but it doesn't matter exactly what your mixture is. So we have a thermometer in here, and we are going to smoke at 275. This is a little bit hotter smoke than normal, than other products that we smoke, other meat, but that's what we're going to smoke at. So we got some glorious smoke roll in here. We're going to get this puppy in here. All right, and I have my thermometer in the thickest part. Basically right about here, right in the middle is what I'm trying to do. So right about there is where it is. It's kind of in the middle. So we're gonna look for an internal temperature of 165. I know that's a little bit different temperature that you smoke to, but this is pastrami, so it smokes to the same temperature you would technically cook chicken at, or cook chicken to. So, alright, I'll see you guys in a little bit. So we're just over an hour in, and we are already at 108 degrees internal temperature. It is super, super windy today, so I am burning through wood. Hope you guys can see that. Like it's going out of style, but we are cooking right along, so I'm going to turn it down. So I've turned it down to about 250 just to slow the cook down. It's cooking really fast. We're not trying to tenderize it. It's already been tenderized by the processing of it to make corned beef. So just letting you know we're checking in. We're at an hour, so this one's going to be done pretty soon. I only have like 60 degrees to go, so I'm guessing I'll have this thing cooked in 2 hours. So like I said, I've been burning through wood like crazy because it is really windy. I usually add wood every 45 minutes. I've been adding wood every 15 minutes, so I've been burning up a lot of wood. But that's how smoking goes. Alright, I will see you guys all later. Alright, so it's been 2 hours and 23 minutes that we've been smoking. We've been running right around 260, and I've been burning through wood like it's going out of style today. And here is our pastrami. Looks amazing. I'll take this out and you guys will be able to see it up close. Whoops. Don't want to do that too often. Oh yeah. That smells so good. Alright, so what we're going to do now is this is going to get wrapped up for an hour. Just like any other beef product, you want it to reabsorb all those juices. So I will see you guys in about an hour. We'll cut it up, and I'm actually going to eat this one. So see you in a bit. Alright, so we've actually been sitting for just over an hour and a half, actually an hour and 45 minutes. So we're going to take this bad boy out. Oh, look at all that juice dripping out of there. Don't lose all that goodness, do we? Dump all that into there and keep it. That's some goodness right there. All right. Let's cut into this bad boy and see what our pastrami looks like and what it tastes like. Hot. All right. Take a look right there. I'll just show you this piece, that's easier. Sure looks like pastrami, doesn't it? Smells like pastrami, but here's the real question, does it taste like pastrami? Every time I've made this, it tastes like pastrami, but you know, let's see today. Should I do that little flappy thing that they always do on those really cool videos? No, I don't think so. This one's a little tough, but it definitely tastes like pastrami. So. I think I could have cooked it a little bit longer. That's usually the temperature I cook it to, but it's definitely cooked, but a little chewy. I think next time I'll cook it to like 175. But it's gonna slice up, and it's gonna make some really good sandwiches, if there's any left. Because we're gonna have this for dinner. Let's see if I cut it a little bit thinner if it's less chewy. A little bit less chewy, but Definitely tastes like pastrami, so we're good to go. And you know, I'll tell you guys the truth, because we're not perfect here in this world. Unlike all the other videos, we're just real people cooking in our kitchen. So there we have it, easy peasy pastrami. I kind of like it. I've made it before. I'll definitely be making this again. So if you guys like the videos and like what I'm doing, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And if not, cool. Have a wonderful day. Appreciate y'all watching to the end. For those of you that made it, the 3 of you. So peace, love, and hair grease, and thank you all. Have a great day.